Hey guys, welcome to Cocoon to Bloom. I am one of the hosts, Abby, and today we are going to be talking about how to stop seeking validation from everyone. Because if you are anything like me, you've probably got yourself checking your phone a little too much, overthinking what someone said, or feeling weirdly affected by whether someone approves of you or not. And it is exhausting, so let's get into it. I think that everybody struggles with trying to get validation from everyone, whether that's men, whether that's your relationship or your friendship or social media. That is a huge one today. But I want to talk about how we can stop doing this because it truly is so exhausting trying to live for somebody else or for other people, and you're not actually living your life. And you're kind of spending your life being anxious and always overthinking your every single move. And I am speaking to myself in this because I have struggled with this my whole life. And I overthink everything when it comes to text messages, conversations. I have spent so many hours of my life wasted me stressing out, thinking about things that I said, going over every single wrong move I could have possibly made. When in reality, the other person probably wasn't even thinking about it and probably didn't even care. But knowing me, I spent so much time spiraling, crashing out, worrying, oh my gosh, I didn't do this and this, but we are wasting our lives doing that. And it's sad because we're wasting so much energy, and that energy that we are wasting being stressed out and spiraling, we could use for something else. Because I don't know about you guys, but I am trying to eliminate stress from my life. I have spent so much of my life feeling super stressed out and just identifying myself as someone who's just always anxious and stressed. And I don't want to live like that anymore. So, one of those steps is trying to not seek so much validation. And of course, we are not perfect. It is inevitable. We are still going to strive to be validated. You can't fully eliminate it. But what is seeking validation? I think sometimes when you think about it, you just imagine being like, am I pretty? Do I look good in this? And that is seeking validation, but I think it also shows up in subtle ways too. For example, checking who views your story, who likes your story. I'm a culprit of this. Posting something, and then if it doesn't get tons of likes or comments, deleting it, asking for advice constantly, or like feeling like you need reassurance before you make a move, or you need people to tell you you can do something before you do it, even though you know deep down what you want to do. You kind of have to feel like you need that go ahead from the other party. And over explaining yourself. I do this all the time. Even when I don't need to over explain myself, there have been times where I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm tired. I need to go home. And then I'll give them like a whole spiel about why I'm tired. Like, girl, you can just say you're tired and go home. You don't need to remind them or tell them every single thing that happened to you in your life of why you're so tired. Like, no. Okay. But yeah, it's like the little things, and you don't even realize that you're doing it a lot of the times. At least for me, I don't realize I'm seeking validation. And I think the first step is to be a little bit more self-aware and think to yourself when you're doing these things, what am I looking for right now? Am I looking for validation? Am I looking for reassurance? Am I looking for someone to tell me that I'm good? But you don't need other people to give you that validation. But realize you're doing it. And that is always the first step, because once you realize you're doing it, you can stop yourself and pause. And it is hard to stop seeking validation because it makes you feel stable when you do get validated, and it feels good. Like, let's be honest, I love when I get a compliment, and it does boost my ego and it feels good, but that is the problem. It is only temporary. It's going to fade, and then you're just gonna, it's like almost an addiction. It fades and then it goes away, and you're like, wait, I need that validation. I'm craving it. Just like your phone, you're kind of like checking, like, I want people to text me, or I want this and this and this. You start to crave it. And that's why it's so hard to stop, because without that validation, you start to feel a little unstable, and then you need it again. So I think how we can move away from this is to shift our perspective and shift where our approval comes from. For example, when doing something, instead of thinking, will they like this? Think, will I like this? Because at the end of the day, it is your life and your life only. It is nobody else's life. It doesn't matter what other people think. And that is so easy to say for me to be like, just who cares what other people think? Do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It is quite literally impossible to not care what other people think. And I think to an extent, we should care what people think. Not in the way you think, just like our loved ones or your very close circle. Like, I think it's important to take some critical, or what's the freaking, oh my gosh. Take criticism, constructive criticism. And I think it's like good here and there. But when you're just like living your life for other people and constantly thinking about it, that's when it's a pretty big problem in my book. But yeah, move from performing to others to just being. Just be you. And I know it's so much easier said than done because it's hard not to care what other people think. It's hard for me. I do care what other people think, but, and like I was saying earlier, you don't realize that you're doing a lot of the time. It just kind of happens and it becomes a habit. Truthfully, it becomes a habit. So this is just another habit that we have to work on breaking. But I think that is the main one, is to shift your wording. Like, instead of, oh, I hope he likes me. For example, when you're going on a first date, instead of thinking, oh, I hope he likes me, I hope he likes my outfit, literally be like, I hope I like him or her. I hope that I like this person. I hope I have fun. Think about you, because your feelings matter too. Because I'm telling you right now, the other person is only worried about how you are perceiving them. They're not so wrapped up in everything about you. People are so selfish, not in a bad way, but like self-centered is a better word. I meant to say that. People are so self-centered. We are always just thinking about ourselves. We're not looking around at other people like, ooh, like nitty gritty. No, I fall victim to this all the time, where I think if I'm like breaking out, I think, oh, people are looking at me, like people are looking at my skin. And that is literally not happening. Like, I don't go around looking at everyone's skin and being like, let's see if they have any blackheads on their nose. Like, that's just not realistic. That doesn't happen, okay? For example, I recently got my bangs cut, and I wanted curtain bangs, but they're bangs, okay? They're not my favorite, but that's okay. And it's not a big deal. No one's like looking at my bangs like, oh, she has bangs and they do not suit her. They do not look good. I went to the gym the other day and people were looking at me, and I literally in my head was like, oh, they're like totally looking at me and my bangs and totally judging me and thinking how horrible I look and how I'm chopped, blah, 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 blah. Literally, I looked back at that moment and I started laughing because I'm like, nobody cares. If anything, they're looking at me because I'm beautiful, okay? Like, no one is that obsessed. Like, no one is really looking into everything you're doing. They are always worried about themselves. We are always worried about ourselves. So you can use that as proof. But I think back to what I was saying. I got a little off tangent, I took okay, cut that little portion out of me being stupid. Back to what I was saying. When you shift your mindset from, oh, I hope people like me, shift it to, I hope I like me. And that goes with everything. Like, I just worry about you and how you feel, and make sure that you're proud of yourself. You don't need to worry about if you're making your family proud, your parents proud. You should be making yourself proud, and that is the one main person who matters. So I think when you shift that mindset, it is a huge game changer. You become more aware and you start to rewire your brain. And I think a lot of times, pause before you seek reassurance. Before you ask someone, oh, is this okay, or blah, 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 or whatever, pause and ask yourself, why am I asking? Or what is it exactly that I'm looking for? And a lot of the times you already know the answer, and you can think, hey, is there a way I can give this to myself? Or can I distract myself and not seek validation this way, if it's in an unhealthy way. And at the core, this comes from a belief that you aren't enough. When you constantly need validation, that kind of says to yourself that I'm not enough, or that you believe you're not enough. And I'm here to tell you that you are more than worthy. You do not need to be a supermodel or have all these accolades, have all these accomplishments to be worthy. You are worthy exactly as you are today. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to perform. You can just be yourself. And once you are aligned with yourself, you will feel proud. You will feel happy. You will feel validated. You won't need to seek it out from these other sources because it will already be within you. And unfortunately, the hard truth, I'm going to hold your hand when I tell you this, not everybody is going to like you. And that's okay. If you think about it, you don't like everybody. There are some people that I just don't get along with and I don't particularly like, and I don't even have a good reason. And now I'm not a hater. I'm not like, oh, I hate everybody and I don't have a reason. I love people. I really do. But there's some people who I just don't mesh with, or I haven't meshed with in the past. And that is not their problem. It is not my problem. It's just we don't align. And that's okay. That is going to happen. And again, it's not that person's fault. And it's not my fault. But when you remember this and you think to yourself, not everyone is going to like me, it helps. Because coming from a people pleaser and someone who just has spent a lot of my life wanting people to like me and making sure I'm liked, making sure no one's mad at me, I've always been so worried people are mad at me. Most of the time, people aren't mad at me. And if they are mad, they can talk to me, have a conversation with me. We figure it out. That's the thing when it comes to overthinking about actions. We're all adults, or maybe you're a teenager. Either way, if someone a lot of the time does have a problem with you, or you hurt their feelings, or something went wrong, they should or will come to you and talk to you about it. And I don't think it's worth spending your time worrying about if they haven't said anything. There's no need to worry. But if you are worried, you can have a conversation with that person. And communication goes so far. So if someone is communicating, okay, pause that. If something is wrong, most of the time, people will communicate that to you. And I think that's helpful, keeping that in mind. Like if something was really wrong, I care about this person, they would come to me and we would have a conversation and figure it out. But you're not going to be for everybody. You're not. Not everyone gets along. It's just humans do not work that way, and that's fine. But you will find your people, and the more you let go of the people who don't like you or who you don't like, it makes it easier for you to find your people, find your circle, the people who get you, who see you, who validate you without you even searching for validation, really. But you should make yourself the center. When you are the center of your world and you are firm in who you are and you love yourself and you're confident in all that you are, you become magnetic and everything else kind of falls into place. People will see that you are confident, you are magnetic, you are pulling in all these things because you know who you are. You know you're proud of yourself. You are that girl, you are that bitch. Nobody can take you down and no one's going to change your mind. Naturally, people will gravitate to you. I can seriously tell you, being confident, when you are confident, that is when, like, I have spent a lot of my life being shy and quiet and not speaking up and just kind of worried to make any moves because I was worried people wouldn't like me. And I recently have become a lot more confident in who I am. And I know who I am. I don't need to search for validation all the time. Of course, I have my days, but just me being confident in myself and knowing who I am, I have experienced people truly being like, I have found my people. Like, people come up to me more. I feel like I am a more magnetic person because I am more confident and because I'm not afraid to say how I feel. I'm not afraid to stand up for myself. And that's another thing. Wait, pause. Not another thing. once you know who you are and you have that confidence, you won't even be thinking too much about validation from others because your own opinion will matter so much. And you will kind of like subconsciously be getting validation either way instead of searching for it, if that makes sense. I also wanted to talk about kind of like decentering, as we're decentering validation. When you decenter men specifically, if you are a woman listening to this, a lot of times I feel like women are, there's so much pressure on us to look good in the man's eye for the man's appeal. And I have spent so much of my life trying to look good for men. And people still all the time will comment things on social media and be like, oh, boys don't like that, men don't like that. Why do we care? Like, actually, why do we care? I really don't I don't give a fuck about what a man wants. I really don't anymore. I used to, okay? I will admit, I used to. I used to care what men thought, but I don't anymore. And I think that in a society where men a lot of times try to make women feel small, or just in general, some people will try to keep you small and keep you shy because they have that advantage over you and they don't want you to speak up. They don't want you to honestly step into your full power because it benefits them. It benefits them when you are shrinking yourself down, and you don't want to do that. When you let go of what they think, you can truly step into your power and stop shrinking yourself, because you should not have to play small for anyone ever. And I also wanted to talk about, there is so much pressure on women to look perfect and be very accomplished, but also not too focused on your career and still make sure you would be a good wife. And it's very exhausting trying to figure out what society wants from us, because they're never happy. We are always somehow losing or always somehow in the wrong, no matter what we do. So when you let go of what they think and what society thinks and do what you want, it's freeing. It is so freeing, because if you spend your time trying to please everyone and trying to do what society or everybody wants you to do, and so you feel validated, you feel like you're doing the right thing, you're being a good person, whatever, you are training yourself. You're not living your life. You're doing it for other people. You're not going to be fulfilled. You're not going to be happy. When you let go and literally break free from the chains of validation and trying to be everything all at once for everybody, you can actually live your life and be happy and become the person that you want to be, because it doesn't matter what other people want. It matters what you want. It is not their life. It's yours. Okay, I have a little bit of homework for you to do. And this has helped me a lot. This helped me stop seeking validation and made me feel more confident, because a lot of the times I like to tell people things that, or I know we all like to tell people things like our accomplishments and be like, oh, I did this, I did this. Or sometimes we even embellish them, like on our resumes, we embellish our resumes or exaggerate, and so people can reward us. And it comes probably from our childhoods and from people giving us good reactions when we tell them things like, oh, I got an A. And they're like, oh, good job. And it feels good. And that still is great. But you don't need to tell everybody about every single accomplishment or everything that you're working on, everything that you're doing. This also, I think sometimes you got to be silent, because one, evil eye is real. I think a lot of times when you tell people about the things you want to do or your dreams, low key, some people will be preying on your downfall. Okay? I feel like that's happened to me many times when I have told people in the past, like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And maybe I sound woo-woo. I know. Okay? I do think evil eye is very real. But anyway, you don't need to tell everybody about every single thing you're doing or every accomplishment. Like, a lot of the times it feels, oh, pause. Okay. And I think when you do accomplish something and something you're very proud of, you should tell people, actually, though, because you should be proud and you should share your art and you should share your accomplishments. I'm not saying don't tell anybody, be humble. Like, that's not what I'm trying to get at. I just mean you don't need to tell people like every single thing. And a lot of times I think maybe wait until it's finished to tell people. That's just a little evil eye hack, okay? But I have a challenge for you, okay? I want you to do something you're proud of and don't tell anyone. No posting, no hinting, no waiting for someone to notice and like constantly thinking about it. Just let it be yours. Because when you can feel proud without needing it to be seen, that's when you know your validation is starting to come from within. And you can practice this. You can do this multiple times. Like it can be small too, because if I accomplish something huge, best believe the world is going to find out. I'm going to post about it. I don't care. Okay. But I'm talking about like little things to help, like maybe run a mile or do something that scares you. Get straight A's and maybe just like don't tell anyone. Actually, no. If you get straight A's, like tell everybody. Not me going against this whole episode, but like do small little things that make you proud of yourself and don't tell anyone. I have some little things that I do, and it's like a little routine and ritual that I have with myself where I do certain things, and it has helped me a lot. And I don't tell anybody about it. Nobody knows. I'm not going to tell you because it's like a little thing that I have with myself, and it makes me more proud of myself. It makes me more confident, and it makes me more firm in who I am. So I know that this works. So just try, just do something small and keep doing it. And the more you have that, the more confident you will feel and the less you'll be needing validation. Okay. And again, this is just a habit. We just need to rewire the habit because validation seeking is really hard to stop because it is something that has been ingrained in us probably from like the day we were born. We have been doing it since childhood. And so stopping that is going to take time. It's going to take practice. Again, you're not just going to be perfect and like, oh, I don't care what anybody thinks. Like it is a process. And instead of just trying to stop, replace it with something else. Like I said before, instead of thinking, hope they like this, I hope I like this, and etc., etc. Or I hope they like me. I hope I like who I'm becoming, because that's the most important thing, that you love yourself. And when you catch yourself overthinking and saying, did I say the wrong thing? Shift it to this person loves me, and if they have an issue with me, they can come talk to me and we can communicate. It's not about being perfect. It's about gently correcting the pattern over and over again. And as we do that, and as you continue to get better at changing this habit, you rewire your brain and you break it. And I just want to say, you should already be proud of yourself for the things that you've done. And if you forget, you should write a note of all the things that you've done, even just like in the past year. Sorry, I have hiccups, so I'll wrap it up. But write down the things that you've done that you're proud of yourself, or write down the things that you love about yourself and remind yourself of these things. I think also validating yourself out loud. Affirmations are huge. They have helped me so much. And just saying those every day and getting in the habit of saying affirmations, and it can feel cringe. I don't care. Get it. Get up, get in the mirror, look at yourself and tell yourself you're beautiful, that you're proud of yourself, that you're strong, that you're radiant, that you're magnetic, whatever affirmations you want. But keep telling yourself that and keep reminding yourself, because it's important to be kind to yourself. Because if you're constantly critiquing yourself, you're not going to feel confident. You're going to still want validation because you hate yourself naturally. So if you are affirming to yourself that you know who you are, that you're beautiful, that you're proud of yourself, say it out loud too, because it really does make a difference. And your brain doesn't know the difference. When you say that, your brain is actually listening to you, your body is listening to you. But I just want to leave you with this. The version of you that you're trying so hard to get people to approve of is already enough. You don't need to earn your worth. You don't need to prove it. You don't need to perform for it. It's already yours. And the more you start to believe that, the less you'll feel the need to ask the world to confirm it. And I love you guys. You are more than enough. You are worthy completely as you are. You are beautiful. You do not need to worry constantly about what the world and what society is thinking of you. it matters what you think. And thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. I hope you took something good away from it. I hope you liked it. I love doing this, and thank you so much for listening. If you did like it, please leave a comment or rate the podcast, follow us, or maybe leave a comment about an episode that you would like in the future. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I hope you have the most beautiful week ever.